Have you ever wondered why, as we age, it sometimes feels easier to let things slide rather than fight every battle? Is it wisdom or a quiet strategy for preserving our peace and dignity? What if I told you that choosing not to respond in certain situations, pretending to be less aware, could be the ultimate display of strength and intelligence? In this video, we'll explore 7 powerful situations where appearing stupid is not a weakness, but a profound act of wisdom. These aren't just tips. They are life strategies rooted in years of experience and emotional intelligence. By the end of this video, you'll gain invaluable insights into handling family conflicts with grace, protecting your peace from unwanted criticism, and navigating modern challenges like technology and generational divides, all while maintaining your dignity and inner harmony. But that's not all. You'll also discover how to guard your kindness from exploitation, why stepping back in arguments can be your greatest strength, and how to turn underestimation into a secret weapon. Whether it's dealing with family decisions, criticism, or even heated political debates, this video is packed with real-life examples and practical advice to help you live a more fulfilled and peaceful life. Stay with us until the end, because the final lesson will show you how these quiet acts of wisdom don't just benefit you. They leave a lasting legacy of grace and strength for those around you. Don't miss a single moment, as these life-changing truths can transform the way you navigate relationships, challenges, and your journey of aging. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. When family members make decisions without consulting you. As we grow older, it's an unavoidable truth that our loved ones, often with the purest of intentions, may begin to make decisions for us without including us in the conversation. They may feel they're safeguarding our health, managing our finances, or organizing our living arrangements for what they perceive to be our good. While their intentions may stem from love and concern, these actions can cut deeply, leaving us with an aching sense of invisibility and a painful loss of autonomy. For many, it feels like a quiet erasure of our voice, a silent yet unmistakable message that our opinions no longer carry weight. I believe it's only human to feel hurt, even resentful, in such moments. After all, who wouldn't want to hold on to their independence, their ability to decide what's best for their own life? These emotions are real, and they matter. It's tempting to resist, to assert yourself with force, to demand to be heard. But over time, I've learned that there's immense strength and grace in stepping back, taking a deep breath, and choosing not to react immediately. Sometimes, pretending not to notice or choosing not to fight every battle isn't about surrendering your independence. It's about preserving your dignity while finding a wiser, more thoughtful way forward. When we pause to observe, we create space to understand the deeper motivations behind their actions. Are they acting out of genuine love, concern, or perhaps even fear? Or could it be that they, too, are navigating their uncertainties about your well-being and what lies ahead? By holding back from immediate confrontation, you allow space for reflection and foster an environment of trust and collaboration. Instead of reacting with frustration, "Why didn't you talk to me first?" Try softening the conversation. "I can see you're concerned, and I appreciate that. Let's sit down and figure this out together." These words shift the tone, turning what could be a conflict into a shared effort to address the situation. In these moments, I remind myself of the wisdom and strength that come with age. We've lived through seasons of joy, loss, triumph, and challenge, experiences that our children and loved ones may not yet fully comprehend. By exercising patience and responding with calm assurance, we send a quiet but powerful reminder that we still hold a wealth of knowledge worth respecting. Choosing to observe, listen, and respond with care doesn't mean forfeiting your power or giving up your role in the conversation. On the contrary, it's a profound act of quiet strength. It's about showing, through your actions and your measured words, that you are still the strong, capable individual they've always known and loved. This delicate balance of patience and confidence can help protect your dignity while strengthening the relationships that matter most. After all, life is too short to let misunderstandings erode the bonds we've spent a lifetime building. 2. When someone underestimates your abilities. As we journey through life, reaching the later stages, it's almost inevitable that some people will begin to perceive us not for who we truly are but through the narrow lens of our age. This can manifest in subtle and sometimes infuriating ways. A young cashier hesitatingly explaining how to use a touchscreen as if you've never encountered one, or a well-meaning neighbor stepping in to help with something you've mastered decades ago. Even those closest to us, like family members, may unintentionally overstep by offering assistance that isn't needed, assuming that their intervention is required simply because of your years. These moments can cut deeply, leaving you feeling belittled or underestimated, even when their intentions are kind. It's natural in such situations to want to push back and prove them wrong. You may feel a spark of defiance, a need to demonstrate that you're just as capable, sharp, and independent as ever. And truthfully, who wouldn't? After all, your life has been a testament to resilience and strength, and it can sting when others fail to see that. But here's where wisdom, cultivated through the years, comes into play. The real power lies not in constant battles to prove yourself, but in the quiet confidence of knowing your worth. When you truly know who you are, their assumptions lose their power to affect you. When someone underestimates your abilities, it often says more about their limited understanding than about your capabilities. It reflects their own biases or lack of experience, not their reality. Instead of reacting with frustration, imagine taking a different approach. Picture a scenario where someone overly explains a simple task, assuming you won't understand. What if, rather than correcting them or showing annoyance, you simply smiled and said, "Thank you for explaining that. I appreciate your effort." This simple response isn't just an act of grace, it's a profound demonstration of your inner strength. By not reacting defensively, you shift the dynamic entirely. You remain calm, in control, and unshaken. What's more, allowing others to underestimate you can sometimes lead to the most delightful surprises. The same person who assumed you couldn't navigate technology might be taken aback to see you seamlessly video chatting with a grandchild or managing your finances online with ease. These moments of quiet competence carry far more impact than any argument or defensive retort ever could. They subtly challenge stereotypes and remind everyone, including yourself, of the depth of your abilities. This isn't about surrendering to the false narratives others might have. It's about choosing your battles and revealing your strength on your terms. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Let's not forget the rich tapestry of your life. You've faced challenges, celebrated triumphs, and accumulated wisdom that no fleeting moment of underestimation can erase. Those experiences are etched into who you are, a living testament to your resilience and capability. When you respond to these situations with humility and grace, you send a powerful message that age is not a limitation but a badge of honor, a marker of a life well lived. Above all, remember this: you have nothing to prove. Your life, your actions, and your achievements already speak volumes. Others may underestimate you, but their assumptions do not define you. By choosing peace over defensiveness, grace over frustration, and confidence over insecurity, you remind both yourself and others that your worth is unshakable. You are not here to meet anyone's expectations but your own, and that truth is liberating. 3. When family arguments or tensions arise. Family is undeniably one of life's greatest blessings, a haven of love and connection. Yet, as much as it brings us joy, it can also be a profound source of emotional pain, especially when conflicts and tensions arise. In old age, these moments of discord can feel even heavier. You've likely experienced your fair share of family disagreements, some fleeting and others that seem to echo through the years. Perhaps it's siblings rehashing old wounds, or the younger generation battling over clashing values and perspectives. These disputes, whether minor squabbles or deeply rooted grievances, can pull at your heartstrings and disturb the peace you cherish so deeply. As an elder, you hold a unique and often challenging role within your family. People instinctively turn to you, seeking guidance, approval, or perhaps even to bolster their side of the argument. It can feel like walking a tightrope, balancing your love and support for each member while yearning to maintain harmony within the group. Yet, true wisdom lies not in stepping into every conflict, but in discerning when your involvement would help and when it's best to let the storm pass without intervention. When tensions flare, it's tempting to assert your perspective, hoping to resolve the issue with your insights. But experience teaches us that stepping into the fray too hastily can sometimes inflame the situation further. Instead, mastering the art of gentle detachment, of maintaining a calm and even slightly oblivious demeanor, can work wonders. This isn't about apathy, it's about choosing a path that fosters peace. A simple phrase like, "It sounds like this is something you all feel strongly about. I'm confident you'll figure it out together," carries the dual power of acknowledging their emotions and gently urging them toward resolution without taking sides. In moments like these, your neutrality can act as a soothing balm. It allows you to remind your family of a fundamental truth that often gets lost in the heat of the moment. Family unity matters far more than winning an argument. Over the years, you've likely seen how time has a way of softening even the sharpest disputes. What feels all-consuming today may seem trivial tomorrow. By choosing not to engage in the specifics, you protect your peace and gently steer your loved ones toward perspective and reconciliation. This approach is not one of cold indifference but of profound care. You've witnessed the harm unresolved conflicts can inflict on familial bonds, and you understand the irreplaceable value of forgiveness and understanding. By stepping into the role of the calm observer, you set an example of patience and grace. Your presence becomes a quiet but powerful force that guides your family toward healing without dictating their journey. As you navigate these delicate moments, you also honor your emotional well-being. There's wisdom in recognizing that not every battle needs your intervention, and that peace is often found in letting go. Family disputes may arise, but they need not define your legacy within the family. Instead, let your legacy be one of love, unity, and quiet strength. Be the steady anchor that holds everyone together, even when the waters get rough. After all, when the storm finally subsides, and it always does, what remains is the love and connection that make family so priceless. And that, dear elder, is the gift only someone of your experience and wisdom can give. For, when you encounter technology you don't fully understand. Technology today often feels like an entirely different universe, a whirlwind of rapid changes that seem impossible to catch up with. In just a few years, smartphones, apps, and online services have transformed how we live, work, and interact. Voice-activated gadgets, smart home systems, and even artificial intelligence are becoming an integral part of our daily lives. For many older adults, this constant evolution of technology can feel like a language they never learned, a relentless tide of innovations that can easily leave them feeling bewildered and disconnected from the world around them. But I want to say this clearly: there is no shame in feeling this way. Technology is advancing faster than any of us could have imagined, and it doesn't matter how sharp your mind is. It's about keeping pace with an ever-changing landscape that can overwhelm even the most tech-savvy. For those of us who grew up in a world far simpler, a world where a phone was something you used to call someone. No apps, no internet, just good old-fashioned conversation, it's understandable to feel out of our depth. It's almost touching how many of us are still so willing to embrace the new, despite how challenging it might seem. Think about it. We've lived through times of incredible change. We've weathered wars, revolutions, and movements for equality. We've raised families, built careers, and adapted to the world in ways that younger generations may never fully grasp. So, when technology trips us up, it's not a reflection of our intelligence or capabilities. It's simply the nature of a world that's evolving at a pace no one could have predicted. When we encounter something we don't understand, it's easy to feel embarrassed, to fall into the trap of thinking we're too old or out of touch. But that's the wrong mindset. There's so much power in embracing the unknown with humility, grace, and a bit of humor. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, even if you've already read the manual or watched a tutorial. Picture this: asking your grandchild to show you how to use a new app, even though you're not entirely clueless about it. The simple act of saying, "I'm struggling with this, could you show me?" opens up a space for connection. It's not about pretending to be helpless. It's about allowing someone else to shine, to feel valued, and to share their knowledge in a way that strengthens the bond between you. There is something incredibly beautiful about how asking for help can be a gift, not just to you, but to the person offering it. Younger people often find deep satisfaction in being able to teach or guide an elder. It's a chance for them to feel empowered, to pass on their expertise, and to create a bridge between generations. These small, seemingly insignificant moments are the ones that turn into cherished memories. Moments of laughter, of shared learning, of mutual respect. These are the moments that matter most, the ones that make us feel connected, despite the differences in age, experience, and knowledge. But let's be real. There will be times when you genuinely don't understand the technology in front of you, and that's fine. It's okay to admit that you're lost, and it's okay to feel frustrated. However, when that happens, try to embrace a mindset of curiosity rather than frustration. Approach it with an open heart. Think of it this way: I've learned new things all my life, so what's one more challenge? Embracing this perspective not only lightens the mood but also reassures both you and the people around you that age is no barrier to growth. It's never about pretending to be less capable than you are. It's about showing your willingness to adapt and your courage to face something new with a sense of adventure. And when you let go of the pressure to conquer every piece of technology that comes your way, you free yourself from the weight of unrealistic expectations. You reclaim your time, your energy, and your joy for the things that matter in life, like the love you share with those around you. Remember, technology is just a tool. It is not a reflection of your worth, your intelligence, or your value. It's a means to an end. The goal should never be to master every gadget or app. Rather, it should be about how you use these tools to enrich your relationships, foster connections, and experience the beauty of life in all its forms. Whether it's a video call with a loved one, a quick search for information online, or just navigating a website, let technology be a helper, not a master. And in the process, allow yourself the freedom to laugh, to learn, and to lean on others. Because, in the end, it's not the devices that make life meaningful. It's the people we connect with, the relationships we nurture, and the memories we create together. 5. When someone criticizes your choices or lifestyle. As the years pass, life gradually transforms into a rich tapestry, woven with countless choices, some bold, some cautious, yet all intimately personal and profoundly yours. These choices encompass every aspect of your existence. How you spend your hard-earned money, the foods you nourish yourself with, the clothes you wear, and how you decide to fill your days. They speak to who you are, what you value, and where you've been in this long journey called life. And yet, despite the deeply personal nature of these decisions, there will always be those who feel compelled to voice their unsolicited opinions about them. Whether it's about your spending habits, your eating habits, your lifestyle, or your desires, these judgments can feel invasive and suffocating, even if they are offered under the guise of concern or good intentions. There's a certain sting that accompanies these criticisms, a lingering pain that suggests, however subtly, that your judgment is somehow flawed or misplaced. And let's face it, it's difficult not to feel the weight of their words, especially when they come from people you respect or care about. But here's the truth that you've come to understand after so many years of living, after enduring the ups and downs, the triumphs and heartaches. Your choices are yours and yours alone, and they are valid. They are the culmination of your experiences. Your joys, your sorrows, your lessons learned, your growth, and your deep desire to live a life that resonates with your soul. No one has walked in your shoes. no one has lived your life. So, no one has the right to judge your choices, no matter how well-meaning their advice may be. Still, in the face of this criticism, you may find yourself questioning whether it's worth the effort to defend your decisions. The truth is, sometimes it's not. The energy it takes to argue, to justify your every move, is often far more exhausting than simply letting go and continuing to live your truth. There is such profound wisdom in this, letting go of the need to explain yourself, to defend your every action to those who simply don't understand. Sometimes, the best response isn't an argument, but a quiet smile and a gentle, "I hadn't thought of that," even when you know in your heart that you've considered every angle. This isn't about submitting to someone else's view of the world. It's about honoring your inner peace and protecting it from unnecessary conflict. You take control of the narrative, gently but firmly reminding yourself that you do not need anyone's approval to live the life you've worked so hard to build. At this stage of life, you've earned the right to be unapologetically you. You have lived enough years to know that your happiness, your peace, and your sense of purpose are all deeply rooted in your choices. Let others hold their opinions. You need not carry them. Their perspectives are shaped by their own experiences, and they may never truly understand the reasons behind the choices you make. But that's okay. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your journey. More often than not, criticism arises from a place of misunderstanding or a lack of perspective. A friend might ask why you've spent your savings on a dream vacation, questioning why you didn't put it into savings instead. What they don't realize is that travel fills your heart with joy and gives you experiences that money can't buy. So, rather than engaging in a defense that might lead to tension, you can simply nod, play along, and shift the conversation in a more neutral direction. You don't have to explain that your choices are intentional, or that you've thoughtfully weighed their impact. You simply live them. Each decision, each moment, is a reflection of your wisdom, your values, and your sense of self. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. At this stage in life, you've gained the beautiful freedom to prioritize your happiness, your peace, and your purpose above all else. Whether it's starting a new hobby that ignites your passion, seeking solitude when the world feels too loud, or spending your resources on experiences and things that bring you joy, these are your choices. They are reflections of who you are, and they are more than enough. They don't need to be validated by anyone else's standards. So, when faced with criticism, remind yourself of the most powerful truth you know. You've lived long enough to truly understand what matters most. The fleeting opinions of others, no matter how well-intentioned or concerned they might seem, cannot compare to the wisdom you've gained over the years. What truly remains is the life you've shaped for yourself, the one you've built with intention, authenticity, and courage. By letting criticism roll off your shoulders, you reclaim the most precious gifts of all: joy, autonomy, and the quiet strength to live fully, just as you are. It's not about proving others wrong. It's about proving to yourself every single day that you are living a life that is true to who you are, and that you are living on your terms. And that, my dear, is something no criticism could ever take away. 6. When arguments over politics or beliefs arise. In the tumultuous world we live in today, discussions about politics, religion, or deeply held beliefs often have the power to escalate into heated arguments that can leave lasting scars. These topics, so intertwined with personal passion, conviction, and identity, can drive wedges even between the closest of families and friends. I'm sure you've witnessed it, perhaps countless times. Those discussions that start with good intentions but quickly devolve into intense shouting matches, where everyone is so desperate to be right that they forget what matters. Throughout your life, you've seen how the certainties of one generation often give way to the uncertainties of the next. From the civil rights movements to modern-day political shifts, society is in a constant state of flux. Yet, even as things change, it can be difficult to watch people you love get caught up in these clashes, especially when those debates feel so personal and raw. As someone who has weathered decades of change, you've learned a thing or two about the cyclical nature of these discussions. The passion, the frustration, the fiery rhetoric, it's all part of the landscape. But you've also come to realize that not every argument is worth engaging in. It's natural to feel the pull to speak up, to share your perspective, and to assert the wisdom you've accumulated over a lifetime of learning. You've lived through it all: the triumphs, the struggles, the victories, and the losses. Your beliefs are deeply rooted in your experiences, and you want to share that with others to pass on your understanding. But the reality is far more complex. Most of these debates aren't about coming to a mutual understanding or seeking a deeper connection. No, more often than not, they are about staking a claim to the truth and proving who is right, regardless of the consequences. It can be incredibly frustrating, even heart-wrenching, to watch these arguments unfold, especially when they involve people you care about. And yet, through the years, you've learned something essential. Sometimes, silence is the most powerful response you can offer. Instead of jumping into the fray, fighting tooth and nail to prove your point, you can take a step back and simply acknowledge the intensity of the moment. Imagine sitting around the dinner table, as younger generations passionately debate the latest political issue or social controversy. You could easily get swept up in the storm, trying to make your voice heard amidst the chaos. But there's wisdom in choosing a different path, one of quiet strength. By offering a calm, measured response like, "You all have so much energy for this. I admire that," and gently guiding the conversation towards a shared memory or a lighter topic, you're not betraying your beliefs. You're respecting the energy in the room while preserving your peace. This choice, small as it may seem, is a powerful one. By stepping back, you send a message that relationships matter more than winning any argument. You remind those around you that love, respect, and understanding are the foundations of any meaningful connection, and that sometimes the best way to influence others is not through passionate speeches or sharp retorts, but through the example you set and how you choose to live. It's a quiet wisdom, the kind that speaks louder than words ever could. In those moments, you're showing others that being right is not always the goal. Preserving harmony, offering kindness, and respecting differences are far more important. Of course, this doesn't mean you have to remain silent forever. There will come times when your voice is needed, when your perspective can bring clarity, compassion, or insight to a conversation. But the art lies in knowing when to speak, and when to simply be present, offering your support through actions rather than words. By exercising restraint, you allow your words to carry more weight when you do choose to speak. You're saving your energy for the conversations that truly matter, the ones where your insight will not only be heard but truly understood. At this stage in life, you've earned the right to prioritize peace over conflict. You've walked through the ups and downs, and you know that the most valuable relationships in life are fragile. You've learned that sometimes the most profound love you can show is in knowing when to let go of a debate, when to choose silence, and when to preserve the dignity of the moment. The truth is, arguments over politics or beliefs, no matter how heated or urgent they feel in the moment, pale in comparison to the importance of maintaining respect and understanding in your relationships. By choosing to disengage from these battles, you send a message, not just to those around you, but to yourself, that peace is a choice, and it's always worth making. It's not about changing someone's mind or winning a war of words. It's about keeping your heart open, even when others seem to close theirs. That openness, that willingness to rise above the noise and chaos, is a testament to the wisdom you've gained over the years. In a world that often feels divided, your choice to prioritize love over discord is a quiet but powerful statement. And in the end, you'll find that the true victories in life aren't won in arguments, but in the enduring bonds of affection, trust, and respect that we cultivate with those we care for. 7. When someone tries to take advantage of your kindness. As we journey through life, kindness and generosity naturally become some of our most cherished qualities. These traits, which we cultivate over the years, are often admired by others, and they bring a sense of fulfillment and purpose. But, as much as we wish to see the good in people, it's an unfortunate reality that the very kindness we offer can also make us vulnerable. Some don't see our compassion as a gift, but rather as an opportunity to exploit. Whether it's an overbearing salesperson, a seemingly well-meaning friend with hidden motives, or even a distant relative in need of financial help, we are often tested in ways that leave us conflicted. We might feel torn between helping and protecting ourselves, unsure of whether we're being too guarded or if our instincts are right to pull back. And that's okay. This is part of the complex emotional landscape we navigate as we grow older. When someone pressures us into making a hasty decision, be it an investment, a donation, or an emotional request, it can leave us feeling frazzled, vulnerable, and sometimes even guilty for considering that we may not want to help. But the wisdom of age teaches us that we don't need to respond immediately, especially when something feels off. There's no harm in taking a step back and saying, "I'm not sure I understand. Let me think about it." This simple phrase is a powerful shield against manipulation. It gives us the space to think clearly, to listen to that quiet voice inside us that tells us to be cautious. It's not a sign of weakness to hesitate. In fact, it's a demonstration of strength. It gives us the time we need to evaluate the situation, seek advice if necessary, or simply let our instincts guide us. We don't need to feel pressured to act in the heat of the moment. If someone truly has our best interests at heart, they will respect our need for time and reflection. It's important to recognize that pretending to be unsure or a little confused doesn't make us less intelligent. On the contrary, it's a protective measure. Over the years, we've developed a sharp sense for reading people, for sensing when something doesn't quite sit right. In these moments, our intuition is our most valuable asset. Even when someone appears friendly, charming, or urgent, our life experiences have equipped us with the ability to see through the layers they may try to put on. By taking a step back and appearing less certain, we regain control of the situation and allow ourselves to see the true motivations behind someone's request. This doesn't mean we're shutting ourselves off from helping others. It simply means we're being intentional with our kindness, recognizing that not everyone who asks for help deserves it. There's a fine line between being generous and being taken advantage of, and that line becomes clearer with age and experience. True generosity, I believe, comes from a place of confidence and security, not from guilt or pressure. We can give to others from a place of abundance, knowing that our kindness is valued and appreciated. And, most importantly, we can reserve our generosity for those who truly deserve it, for those whose gratitude matches the depth of our giving. Over time, our acts of kindness should become more meaningful and powerful, not just because we're helping others, but because we're doing so with purpose, not out of obligation. When we direct our kindness where it can be truly appreciated, we're able to nourish not only the other person but also ourselves. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. In these moments, it's vital to remind ourselves of the countless times our kindness has been a beacon of light for others. That light, however, is precious, and it deserves to shine in places where it will be honored, not taken for granted. So, when someone tries to take advantage of you, remember, you're not being deceptive or unkind by appearing unsure. You're simply practicing discernment, a gift you've earned over the years. It's not about shutting off your generosity. It's about directing it with wisdom, intention, and care. When you honor your instincts and take the time to assess each situation, you ensure that your kindness remains a source of strength, not a point of vulnerability. By doing so, you continue to live with the grace, dignity, and resilience that have always been at the core of who you are. Your kindness is a precious gift, and it should be given to those who truly deserve it. Protect it, honor it, and never feel guilty for taking the time to consider if it's being respected. The quiet strength of wisdom in the journey of life. Old age is not some retreat from the world. It is, in fact, the grand culmination of everything we have learned, experienced, and endured. It's the place where decades of joy and pain, triumph and loss, come together to form a beautiful tapestry of wisdom, resilience, and insight. The quiet moments when we choose to withhold our opinions or pretend to be ignorant are often misunderstood. They are not signs of weakness or foolishness. Rather, they are profound expressions of wisdom, a wisdom that recognizes that sometimes peace is far more valuable than being right, that the beauty of relationships far outweighs the temptation of winning an argument, and that the true treasures of life are found in our choices to preserve our inner peace, our well-being, and our harmony with those we love. It takes an extraordinary kind of strength to decide to yield or step back in certain moments. A strength that, I believe, younger generations may not fully understand or appreciate just yet. This is not the strength of brute force or loud proclamations. It is the quiet strength of knowing when to let go of battles that no longer serve us. It is the wisdom to protect your energy, to conserve your spirit for what truly matters in the grand scheme of life. It is about choosing the simplicity of love and understanding over the complexity of pride and ego. And let me tell you, this is not about giving up or resigning to life's unfairness. No, it is about rising above, embracing what truly makes life meaningful, and knowing that your worth, your integrity, is not tied to the fleeting opinions of others or the desperate need to always be right. Your life lived with purpose and authenticity speaks louder than any argument or boastful statement ever could. As you navigate the ever-changing landscape of relationships, societal expectations, and the inevitable challenges of aging, remember this: wisdom is never loud, brash, or boastful. It is quiet and humble, deeply rooted in love, not just for those around you, but for yourself. There is something so incredibly beautiful and powerful about choosing when to act and when to step back, when to speak and when to remain silent. In doing so, you build a legacy, not of accolades or loud victories, but of grace, compassion, and understanding. This is the kind of legacy that teaches others how to live fully, and how to embrace life's challenges with a heart full of patience and wisdom. It teaches us that we do not need to shout to be heard, and we do not need to fight every battle to be victorious. Sometimes, our greatest strength lies in our ability to be still, to wait, to listen, and to love. So, in those moments when life calls for restraint, when it asks you to be patient, to hold back, or even to gently pretend for the sake of peace, know this: you are embodying the very essence of wisdom. You are showing the world that true strength does not come from how loudly you assert yourself, but from how confidently you carry the quiet wisdom of a life well lived. And I truly believe that, in the end, this is perhaps the most profound lesson we can ever learn. It's not about winning the world's approval or getting ahead. It's about holding your ground in the quiet moments, letting your inner peace speak volumes, and passing down a legacy of love, strength, and understanding that will resonate for generations to come. As we reflect on the quiet strength that comes with wisdom and age, I hope you've gained a deeper understanding of how the choices we make, from yielding in moments of tension to embracing the simplicity of peace, can shape our lives in ways we never imagined. It's not about the loud victories or the moments we assert ourselves, but about the grace, love, and understanding we cultivate in our hearts and share with the world. So, what have you learned from this journey today? Take a moment and think about the one thing you've discovered that resonates with you the most. Is it the power of restraint, the importance of inner peace, or perhaps the beauty of letting go when it's needed? I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below, sharing one thing you'll bring into practice in your own life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insights like this. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts.